We are going to discuss today what is the importance of anatomical landmarks during e-bypass. It is important to recognize the anatomical landmarks and we have to observe the position of the probe all the time when we are doing e-bypass. These are standard imaging techniques by an e-bypass scope and we are going to describe 6 positions when we are doing e-bypass. In this discussion, we are going to show that you do clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation and the cranial side left and caudal side right imaging convention is followed. These are the 6 positions that we wish to show. This is imaging from the upper trachea, imaging from the lower trachea, imaging from the right main bronchus, imaging from the distal part of the right bronchus, imaging from the left bronchus, and imaging from the distal part of left bronchus. So as is evident from this figure, the landmarks that we are seeing are also evident and we can see the brachiocephalic vein, the aorta and the pulmonary artery as important landmarks in this figure. So this is position 1 where we see the great vessels of neck. Position 2 where we see the arches of azygos vein and aorta. Position 3 where we see the ascending aorta, superior vena cava. Position 4 where we see the left atrium. And then we go into the position 5, we see the left main pulmonary trunk, left main pulmonary artery and the arch of aorta. And lastly, from the descending aorta as well as the left atrium. So in position 1, clockwise rotation shows the right brachiocephalic vein and brachiocephalic trunk, and the left common carotid arteries and brachiocephalic veins are seen on anti-clockwise rotation. The rotation is done and when we can see about posterior wall, in posterior wall we can see air in the esophagus and through the posterior wall, membranous wall of the trachea, we can see the esophagus and the esophagus is air filled and that is why we can identify it through the membranous posterior tracheal wall. So in a way there are structures anterior to trachea, structures posterior to trachea, structures beyond the right and left wall and they are shown in this figure. And this is the air in the esophagus lying posterior to trachea. This image shows reverberation artifact. So long as you are in the trachea, these reverberation artifacts are going to make your life difficult because in one frame you will almost always find reverberation artifact and they are present because the trachea has got cartilaginous ring which will not allow the sound waves to go through them and one cartilaginous ring is around 15, they are 4 millimeter in breadth and in between. So this is the reverberation artifact and seen in this figure which is seen because of the. This video demonstrates that this is the arch of aorta from where there is origin of the left common carotid artery and you can see this is the brachiocephalic vein beyond the arch of aorta. So the brachiocephalic vein can be gradually rotated and you can follow it going in towards the superior vena cava once it unites with the right brachiocephalic vein. This is possible from the trachea and then superior vena cava is followed because in this case you can see the azygos vein is also seen from the same position. This image shows from the upper trachea that air forms dirty comet tail artifact which goes to the periphery of the screen. As the balloon is not used in this imaging, it is important to move the knob up direction so that you can establish contact with the wall of the trachea to remove artifact. Now let us see what lymph node station is there and why. Because there is a lymph node station in front of trachea 4L and there is another lymph node above the arch of the aorta, and this node belongs to station 2L. So when we come to the second position, from the lower trachea, we move clockwise and anti-clockwise. When we move clockwise, we see the azygos vein arch entering into the superior vena cava, and on anti-clockwise rotation, we can see the aorta along with the aortopulmonary window stations. This is an illustration of the same video that we have seen, where we can more clearly see the azygos vein entering into the superior vena cava posteriorly on the right side, and the arch of aorta making an arch on the right side of aorta, and the respective stations, lymph nodes, as seen in the figure. This is another way of looking from the lower trachea, where we have placed the lymph node stations on the right and left side of the lower part of the trachea, and these lines are important because they signify important borders of the International Association of Study of Lung Cancer for classifying different parts of the nodes, and which we will discuss in some other session. But the basic principle is the azygos arch curves over the right bronchus and the aortic arch curves over the left bronchus, and these two arches lie near the lower trachea. So when you are seeing arches, that means you are in the lower trachea. So this is image from the lower trachea, which shows azygos vein joining the superior vena cava posteriorly, and the right pulmonary artery is seen just below the union of azygos vein. This vertical yellow line indicates an important border, the caudal margin of azygos vein as it joins the inferior vena cava, and an important IASLC border. This video shows that the scope is moving down from trachea towards carena, and it demonstrates the brachiocephalic vein as it moves from the left side towards the station toward the superior vena cava, and then the importance of left brachiocephalic vein is that the caudal margin is an important margin of the station 2 and 4R. In this case, we see another lymph node of station 4R close to superior vena cava, and then we enter this further down in the superior vena cava and right pulmonary artery. We enter into the right main bronchus. Right pulmonary artery is the main vascular home base from the right bronchus, and this right pulmonary artery we can see the pulmonary trunk, as well as we can see the left pulmonary artery through this right pulmonary artery. When we do EBUS from the right bronchus, we can see easily these four structures, and we can place pulsations one by one on all these four different structures. For example, this shows pulsatile superior vena cava, and we can identify these four structures by placing pulse Doppler one by one. So when we do imaging from the right main bronchus, this is the image that we see. Right main bronchus is broader, more vertical, about 2.5 centimeter long, and the right pulmonary artery lies immediately anterior to the right main stem bronchus, near the origin of the right upper lobe bronchus. So the superior vena cava and the ascending aorta lie anterior to the right pulmonary artery, and once we are seeing from the bronchus, these are the structures we can see: right pulmonary artery, superior vena cava, ascending aorta, main pulmonary trunk, and by rotation further through the pulmonary trunk, the left pulmonary artery. So this is an image video which shows the structures, and on anti-clockwise rotation we can see the station 7, and clockwise rotation we can see the station 10R. Let us see this image. This is an EBUS image which shows the superior vena cava, which shows the right pulmonary artery and the ascending aorta. Now what is this? Which station is this? The right pulmonary artery is a content of subcarinal area, and this lymph node belongs to station 7. we will expect the trachea to be somewhere here, and right now we are in the bronchus, right main bronchus, and that is how, even if we do not know have the centimeter landmark, even if we do not have the centimeter landmark, we can know that these are the respective station lymph nodes. This is imaging from the intermediate bronchus, station 4, which lies posterior to pulmonary veins and the left atrium. On a clockwise rotation, the pulmonary veins are seen into the lung, and on anti-clockwise rotation, these pulmonary veins are followed into the left atrium. From the left atrium, once we see through the left atrium, we can see the mitral wall and the left ventricle. This is an example. This is an image where we are seeing the left atrium, the mitral wall, and the left ventricle through the mitral wall. One interesting point to make is that the upper border of the left atrium demarcates the boundary, lowermost boundary of the subcarinal area, and this lymph node, which is below the lowermost boundary of subcarinal area, belongs to station 8 and can be seen from e-basioscope, as you can see in this image. So this is a video which shows the anti-clockwise rotation, station 8, and then we can show clockwise rotation, which will show station 11R lymph nodes, and this is the 11R, and this is the, and you can see the right atrium through the left atrium. Just to recap, this is an image, station 4 lymph node from right epidural bronchus, and these are images just to clarify some of the points. This is a different image to clarify that this is the subcarinal area and this is what we are interested in, and these are the different structures that we are imaging from upper trachea, from lower trachea, as well as from the right and left main bronchus. So the left main bronchus is narrower, less vertical, and 5 centimeter long. It passes to the left inferior to the aortic arch through the subaortic tunnel. From the left main bronchus, we can see the subcarinal area by turning the scope in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So left main bronchus, it is important. If you want to see subcarinal area, you do clockwise rotation. Right main bronchus, you do anti-clockwise rotation, and on anti-clockwise rotation we can see the descending aorta, as you can see. So this is the rotation when you are doing through this scope. This is what the structures that you see when you do clockwise or anti-clockwise rotation in the left main bronchus. And this is a video through the left main bronchus. We demonstrate the structures on clockwise rotation and on anti-clockwise rotation, the descending aorta, left pulmonary artery. This EVAS image shows that this is descending aorta on anti-clockwise rotation from the left main bronchus, and we must also appreciate that the diameter of descending aorta is approximately about 2 centimeters. This is the largest vascular structure that we see from the tracheobronchial tree while you are doing EVAS. This is a lymph node, station 5 on anti-clockwise rotation. We see the pulmonary trunk, see the left pulmonary artery, pulmonary trunk, and this is the lymph node which is belonging to station 7. So long as we are seeing pulmonary artery, this is station 7 lymph node. But once we rotate in the same position, we can find different station 10 lymph node and station 11 lymph nodes also from the same place, and we can see follow the left pulmonary artery to its bifurcation, and as soon as the pulmonary artery bifurcates, it is about to enter or it has already entered into the lung substance, and from there the stations move from the station 10 and 11 and further downwards. Position 6, in this case we can see the mitral wall, left ventricle and ascending aorta, and this is a different view compared to the right bronchus. You can see them, in this case we can see the left ventricle, mitral wall and the ascending aorta, and this is the case. This is the left atrium, is a smaller version of left atrium is seen. This is the mitral valve, left ventricle, and the aortic valves can be seen as we see from the left bronchus. This is a video which shows from the left bronchus that this is the left atrium, and this left atrium follows into the uh, left ventricle, and this is the ascending aorta from where we can see the wall, and this is the left atrium. We can see this is the lymph node close to the left atrium and left. This is station 8 lymph node. In this position, so this is the video when we are in the left lower part of the left bronchus, the clockwise rotation flows the pulmonary vein and into the four-chambered view of the heart can be obtained. Anti-clockwise rotation shows the station 11 lymph nodes. So the station 7, again we are trying to show that station 7 can be seen both from the right and left bronchus, but when you are in the right bronchus, you need anti-clockwise rotation, and when you are in the left bronchus, you need clockwise rotation to see. And this figure shows broadly the boundaries of the subcarinal area, which will elaborate more in our next few discussions. So all this discussion is part of the one article that was published about 10 years back, where we have mentioned all these different stations and all these group of lymph nodes and what the landmarks that can be seen from different parts of the tracheobronchial tree. Now let us take some small quiz, small tricks. What we see here. We see here from the left lower part of the trachea, station 4L, left pulmonary artery, the arch of aorta, station 4L, 5 and 6 nodes. There we are getting a four-chambered view of the heart, and we can see left atrium, left ventricle, aortic valve, right atrium, right ventricle, and the pulmonary trunk. Sometimes it is important to have an idea because in this case we can see the 10R lymph node, and because we have to see clearly the branches of the pulmonary artery, and maybe you will be able to go through in between the branches of the pulmonary artery to take FNAC from the lymph node stations. Coming to one of the few interesting points that I want to make is what is needed. EUS, EBUS, both are needed, and what is the order of selection? Is TBNA required or not? I want to emphasize this is the EUS image and this is the EBUS image. These are the two with different stations way of looking at lymph nodes when we are doing the imaging, but both are required and both can be done, and this is the difference in imaging from EUS and EBUS. Both has got about 6 stations. One small thing that is remaining, how to do imaging of station 9 lymph node. For that, what you have to identify is the inferior pulmonary veins, and the pulmonary ligament will lie below the inferior pulmonary vein, and station 9 lymph nodes are always part of the pulmonary ligament. You will not see them when you see the left atrium. When you see the left atrium, you will see the station 8 node. It is when you see the station 9 nodes will be seen when you are deep into the bronchus and when you are following the pulmonary veins. Below that you will find. Thank you very much.